Today, as we celebrate the International Day for Wheelchair, we must remember that this is one of the greatest inventions that whoever thought about it. I remember in 1945, when after the Second World War, the American soldiers who had come back from the war, most of them maimed, they had no access to mobility. They invented a wooden wheelchair which they used to use, and it was very difficult to use. Along the way, somebody came and invented a wheelchair that is made of metal. And that's how the wheelchair has evolved up to where we are today. Now we have even motorized, we have even those that can stand, we have all manner of wheelchairs.
FPDK ni wataalam wa kutengeza viti vya watoto kama Lucy. Si mnaona watoto wengine hao? Hivi viti vyote vinatoka FPDK. Na unaona, kwa hivyo tunafurahia watoto wanaweza kukaa vizuri, wanakaa wakiwa comfortable, hawawezi wakaumia. Lakini kiti kama hichi Lucy badala kimsaidie kinaweza leta madhara.
International Wheelchair Day, for me I do believe that a wheelchair is just a mode of transport like any other thing. Mtu asikuone na wheelchair anasema huyu ni mlemavu so amelemaa sana. Wheelchair is just a mode of transport like a car, like a what you are using to transport. That is how a wheelchair should be. Na vile tumefika hapa, tunajaribu kusaidiana na APDK ili tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba wale watu wote wanapata wheelchairs zao, wawe wanapata wheelchairs ambazo zinawafit. Kama ni mtoto unapata wheelchair ambayo inatoshana na mwili yako na size yako na weight yako, ili mambo yasikue mrama kama yule mtoto tumeona amepatiwa wheelchair kubwa yeti ni mtoto mdogo. Hiyo tena na mlemaa zaidi.
I was with Mheshimiwa Danita in London. You know the most surprising thing? Kile kilinifurahisha ni asubuhi nilikuwa natoka kwa hoteli mahali tulikuwa tunakaa, natumia train, natumia bus, natumia cab na narudi tena jioni kwa ile hoteli bila kutoka kwa wheelchair. Can that happen in Kenya?
Wheelchair imenitoa mbali. Nilikuwa najivuta chini. Lakini wakati ile nilipata wheelchair, macho yangu ilifunguka, nikaanza kujua maisha ni nini. Nilianza kufanya biashara, lakini sasa niko na biashara yangu. Sasa niko na workshop. Workshop ile natengeza furniture. Kwa experience ya hizo mwaka zote, hata wenye wanafungua kampuni, mtu akifungua kampuni huwa afanyi kazi hapo peke yake. Sasa ukiwa mlemavu unaweza fanya kitu yote, si lazima wewe ndio ufanye hiyo kitu. Unaweza kaa hapo wewe una manage hiyo kitu vile inakaa, vile inafanywa na kazi inaendelea kama kawaida.
With the right wheelchair, itasema with the right wheelchair because you can give me any other wheelchair ambayo sitaweza kujisukuma, sitaweza kucheza michezo yangu, but with the right wheelchair I can do everything. Kila mtu ako na disability yake. Usione disability ya Karo ndio disability ya mtoto wako. Tuko very different. Just give us the right accessible device na tunaweza.
I can say a wheelchair is a really important thing in our lives because without it kabisa hatuwezi fanya anything. Na tunashukuru wale ambao wamekuja forward kutusaidia.
Subject yangu ni mathematics.
Yay! So when you grow up?
Naweza taka kuwa pilot.
Wana afya tunasema ulemavu si ugonjwa. Wana afya tunasema ulemavu si ugonjwa. Ulemavu si uchawi wala si ushirikina. Ulemavu si uchawi wala si ushirikina.
Kenya kila mwaka tunahitaji 400,000 wheelchairs. That is the magnitude ya need ya wheelchairs in this country. APDK is the leading wheelchair service provider in this country. Sisi uwezo wetu tukiwa an association ambayo sio ya kiserikali, tunaweza tu kutengeneza na kupeana wheelchair 2,000 tu. 2,000 na 1,400. Unaona ngapi iko ngapi? Kwa hivyo ile shinda kubwa, watu wengi Kenya wanahitaji wheelchair lakini hawapati. Tunaomba serikali itilie maanani accessibility of the built area and the transport areas. Then of course we cannot do this without the right policies. Right policies means engage the end user of that policy. It is the owner of the shoe who knows where it pinches. Sasa unaniandikia sheria na policy ya ulemavu kama unaniuliza mimi mahitaji yangu ni gani? Tafadhali pia policies, we need them like yesterday.
But above all, we want to say that we want to ask the government so that we can have homegrown solutions. We provide manufacturing of wheelchairs here in Kenya. Some of these wheelchairs we bought cannot sustain our terrain. If you take that wheelchair to rural areas, it will break within a few days and it's not repairable. But these ones we make here can be fixed by any bicycle mechanic.
Today is the International Wheelchair Day, the first being celebrated in Kenya, but the 11th in the world. So you see, this is something that somehow we had always forgotten, but we have found it necessary as APDK to celebrate this. A lot of things I've already said about wheelchair services, and I do not wish to repeat myself. You have known that we provide 2,500 wheelchairs a year against a demand of 400,000. So there's a very big shortfall, and we are working towards that to achieve that number. We are looking for support from donors and partners to ensure that we achieve this.
I'm happy because today is our day. It is a day that we celebrate our walking ability. And disability wheelchairs are part of our attire. And therefore, if somebody is fitting a dress, it is the same way that I will also fit my wheelchair. I would not like somebody to give me a wheelchair that has not been fitted for my size. Yeah? So wheelchair is part of me.
This day offers an opportunity for wheelchair users to celebrate the positive impact the wheelchair has on the lives of the individual. This is also a day to celebrate the great contribution of the many millions of people and organizations who provide wheelchairs, support and care for the wheelchair users. Kenya joins the rest of the world in marking this great day, which is not just for wheelchair users, but I say for all those that are involved in the thinking, in the research, in putting together like APDK and the rest of us who come up with policies and programs and legislation, and the community at large who give a lot of support to the wheelchair users. Inclusion of persons with disabilities in socio-economic and political spheres of life remains a challenge that Kenya must collectively tackle. As a country, we have a duty to guarantee persons with disabilities access to justice system, information, built environment, transport systems, rehabilitation of services, employment, quality education, and training. I urge all government agencies, both the national and county government levels, to strictly adhere to the guidelines on access to government procurement opportunities by persons with disabilities, the youth, and the women. Financial institutions, therefore, should follow suit and chip in by extending LPO financing to these vulnerable groups of our society. In doing that, they would have actually empowered our persons with disabilities.
Christianity following the right state, and I know that I got Christ, so I'm in the right place.
The concept behind the International Wheelchair Day is that it was conceived 10 years ago through a wheelchair user who thought the importance of celebrating a wheelchair as a part and parcel of their body. And through the process, APDK and among other partners in the country, this year decided to have the first wheelchair celebration, which again being celebrated in APDK grounds with the objective of also spearheading and profiling what was done initially 10 years ago in other countries. And we are happy today as Kenya, and more specifically APDK who manufacture wheelchairs, to join persons with disabilities to hear their testimonies, their testimonials, what they are feeling about issues relating to wheelchair in the country, what the government, policymakers, development partners need to think about wheelchairs in Kenya. This is important for us because this will liberate the discussion and conversation around the wheelchair for us to have what we call appropriate and tailor-made wheelchair to the user.